And before the class, it is very important that just let me know that if sometimes I forgot to record. So let me know that if like I just need to start the recording. Okay. Now, now let me just give you a brief of the. Let me share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah. Now, what is so here? I have given already all of you. Like probably Sagar doesn't have it, but I do have shared this link with all of you, and I want you guys to star mark it in WhatsApp. Most of the uh, like, let me share in this group. Yeah. So you can star mark it, and here we will find different learning materials. What kind of learning material? The PPT I will use during the class, you can find that over here. The sample file which I will be using during the class, you can find out over here. Then like some learning materials as in like different SQL question, SQL learning material, Python warehouse, Java data engineering, all of the learning material you can find out over here. All of these is prepared by me. No, all of this is not prepared by me. Whenever I find a good material, I paste it over here. Few of them are prepared by me, not all of them. Now interview questions are being over here, which I update on a regular fashion. After the completion of course, we can go through this interview questions. Now I will open a slide. 1 second. Malikaran, I am waiting for him. Let me open a PPT before that. This is the PPT which I will go through during the class here and there sometimes, okay? Arjun enter now. Probably Arjun can hear us. Hello Arjun.
Uh, Hi, am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible now. Are you am I audible to you?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay, fine. So, how should I spell your name?
You can call me Arjun, Abhishek. That's fine.
That's good. Okay, fine. Arjun, Sagar, and Supreet, we will do this course together, so better we know each other. Okay.
Mhm.
So I want you guys not to give a proper introduction, but normal, a short brief. You can just introduce yourself, what is your background, and so that we know each other as we will study this course together. Okay. So just a small brief about all of you, and then I will give a small brief about me, and then a course and why we are doing this course, and then we will study the first topic. Okay. So let's start with Arjun. Arjun, can you just give a small introduction about you?
Sure. Hi everyone, this is Arjun. So I'm from Hyderabad. So I'm right now in Amazon as a workflow analyst. So WFM. So it would be a complete different domain to learn right now. But yeah, I'm excited and also to get new inputs from this session and from this course.
Okay. And
Thanks.
so, yeah, thank you. And Supreet, can you just give your introduction of you?
Yes. Hi everyone. This is Suprit. Even I'm from Hyderabad too. Uh,
Hmm.
so my current domain I'm working is Oracle projects. It was called Oracle Project Portfolio Management. Before
Hmm.
that, I worked in different domains related to mechanical engineering,
Hmm.
kind of quality engineering.
Hmm.
I worked there in US for like 3 years, and then I came back here. Now currently working in Oracle projects, but I have resigned last month.
Hmm.
Yeah, completely focusing on this Azure right now.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, good. Now, uh, now Sagar, can you give your introduction of you?
Yeah, sure, Abhishek.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. My name is Sagar, and I'm from Pune. I'm working with UBS, and I have around more than 7 years of the experience in the database side. I'm still working on the database.
Hmm.
I'm a database developer, you can say. I also know some administrator tasks as well. So I'm responsible to handle my team, my project database. That's it.
Good. Now, I am Abhishek. I have done my graduation in 2016. I do have 7 years of experience into the data engineering, and then I slowly moved into the I have started my career as a data scientist, and I'm working as a data engineer for past 6 years, totally into the cloud. And recently I shifted to Germany, and I love traveling, so I travel a lot over here. And also in my free time, I like comedy, so I explore around. I do stand-up comedy in India as well, and here, though everybody knows German, so I cannot do that over here. So I'm just still missing that. Now, coming to the course, what we will study? We will study cloud data migration. What do you mean by cloud data migration and why it is important? Any idea about it? Why it is important to move the data into the cloud?
Yeah, little bit.
Yeah, why it is important to move the data into the cloud? Yeah, Sagar, can you tell me why it is important to
Yeah,
move data
sure.
into?
Means right now we are using, you can say, you can store your data in the machine, but you can't fetch your data in anywhere. So definitely cloud. If you move your data in,
You can't do what?
yeah, I'm saying like, for
Hmm.
example, you have some files and you are storing in your machine, so
Hmm.
you are not able to fetch your files from anywhere, correct? So cloud come in this picture once you move your data in the cloud. So it feasible option, you can fetch your data from anywhere.
Hmm. Okay, fine.
It's same like Google Drive.
Yeah, so just like it is easy to share. First of all, what Sagar has told that why we are moving the data into the cloud, because if we just, for example, if I keep the data in the pen drive, I don't want to do that because I need to take care of it, and it is just difficult to share it with other friends because I need to go there and then give the pen drive to them, and then I need to do the maintenance of it. Everything will be taken care by me. But if I store the data into the cloud, it is very easy. Okay, so it is easy. We can share with to others, and also it will be taken care by Microsoft. Microsoft means like there are different cloud provider, though if you are opting for Microsoft, then it will be taken care by Microsoft. So, and also if it is like from the data perspective, it is very easy to handle data loss and recovery. So it will be also taken care by Microsoft in any case. If something happens, suppose there is a war going on from Russia and Ukraine, so if something like a wrong thing happened, then all the data loss and recovery will be handled by Microsoft. And in the cloud, the upgrade is very easy. So suppose if you just if you take care of all the things, then upgrade of software is very difficult. Okay, so in the cloud, upgrade is also very easy. It is easy to collaborate. Okay, so these are the different benefits of the cloud. That is why people are preferring to move the data into the cloud, so that managing the data becomes a easy task. Okay, now I just want to highlight that all of you belong to a different background. Okay, now if you feel that something is not clear, if a very basic thing is not clear, you can just highlight that, Abhishek, I don't know this as well, so that I can re-explain it. Okay, so whenever it's not clear, please stop me and ask, so that I can try to clarify it once more. Okay, so why cloud is necessary, I guess it is clear now. What is cloud? Cloud is basically, in a very simple terms, you are not accessing your computer, you are accessing someone else's computer by on demand and pay as you go model. Means you can opt for any of the service on demand. Like suppose if I want to opt for a SQL server, that also I can do. If I opt for data factory, that also I can do. And it is pay as you go, like right? If you just opt for any service, you need to pay for it, and if you don't opt for it, you don't need to pay for it. So there are multiple services which you can use in the cloud, and it is just like when you're opting for it, you need to pay for it, and if not, then there is no need. Okay, so the practice of using a network or remote server hosted on internet to store, manage, and process data rather than your local personal computer. So you're not accessing your computer, you're accessing someone else's computer. As simple as that. Now, before starting on the cloud, I want you guys to have a cloud account, and how you can get the cloud account is you can log into portal.su.com and here create account. It doesn't needs to be a Microsoft Outlook account. You can use your Gmail account as well and register yourself over here. Any email ID or something like that you can provide and register yourself over here. I have already used all of my email ID, so probably you will not see. Yeah, so just create a password, register yourself. Once you register yourself, then you can open portal.su.com and log in over here, okay, in the cloud account. Once you log in, you will be able to see this kind of a space. So once you log in, you will be able to see this kind of a space. So where we need to log in? We need to log into portal.su.com, okay? Malikarant, you are very new, okay? So whenever something, if I'm going fast, please let me know, okay?
Sure, Abhishek.
Be very honest with me if you're not able to understand things, okay? So that I can re-explain and let you know. Because other guys are from the IT background. You are a bit from different background. So let me know if anything is not clear. Portal.su.com, here we need to make our account, okay? Once you make your account, you will be able to you will see this kind of a space, okay? Now, you will not see this kind of space because I have already taken a subscription. Okay, so if I go to the subscription, I do have a subscription active. What is subscription? Just like in Netflix, you get a subscription to watch a movie, right? To work in a cloud, you need to get a subscription of that cloud to basically work on it, right? So first we need to get a subscription. So how to get a subscription? So I will show you what kind of window you will see. I will go to this. Yeah. So once you make an account, you will see this kind of window. You will not see the other kind of window. You will see this kind of window. Now in this kind of window, you get $200 of free credit, which is around 15,000 rupees. You get a free credit, okay, in which you can practice for a month. Okay. Now either you all three of you can make one account to practice, or else all of you, if you want a separate space, then you can just make one account each. That is up to you. Okay, so you can just decide if someone suppose, because our course will go for 2 months. Okay, so if our course will go for 2 months, then all of us after a month need a particular subscription, right? So suppose if Malikaran is making a particular account, Arjun is making an account, then Suprit can share the account with him. And how to share the account with him, I can guide you, because Arjun don't need to give an email ID, like just share the email ID and password with him. Arjun can add Suprit email ID as well in his directory and then work with him. Okay. So first of all, we need to get a subscription. And how to get a subscription? You need to click on this space, start, and then start free. And then email ID, just complete the procedure. It will ask you credit card, give the credit card detail, and your subscription will be active after that. Okay, so once you complete all the procedure, you will be able to see the subscription over here. Okay, though in my subscription, there is no subscription active, right? So I will go to other account in which subscription is active. 1 second. But in which account my subscription was active? I forgot that. In this. 1 second. Pragati, Sony, Rahul, Saxena, Vacuum, Dev01. I guess this one. Yeah, so just like I have, like what we can do, right? So suppose Arjun makes his account, then he can make Supris as a user. So I am a user for this particular, he is my student. He made an account and added me a user of this particular account. So I can also work on this, right? So any one of you can create an account and then call me. I will make other person a user of that account. And after a month, other person can create an account and add him as a user. That can be done. And for Sagar, I guess he is also working on a subscription right now in a company. So he
Yep.
might not need to do all of this. He can use the company subscription to practice. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Any question?
But can I able to access out of the my workspace, because I guess it need because my company subscription having my Outlook email, correct? So that's a
No, no, no.
question.
What I'm trying to say is, suppose if you have an account, right? Now,
Correct.
whatever work you want to do, if like suppose if what I suggest that you create a separate account, because in some company they don't allow you to create a storage account and you create a data factory, you will be not able to complete what all tasks I'm assigning you. So
Okay.
better you create an account
Sure.
and all of you can create an account, or separate is also okay. It is up to you guys how you want to manage. You can just communicate in the group, right? Now, I am going back to the course. So first is we will get a subscription of the Azure space, and I have told you how you can get it. Okay. Now, yeah,
Sorry, to ask small question.
yeah,
As you said, like we'll have to provide our credit card details, correct? And it will
yes,
activate our subscription for the 1 month. So
yeah,
what about the next month? Because
yeah, yeah. So
we
coming to
okay,
that, once your 1 month is over, okay,
okay,
it will not charge you the money directly. Though you are
okay.
not able to cancel it, it will not charge you the money. But
Mm-hmm.
suppose if you are, because I have used all of my credit card and all of my friends' credit card till now. If you see here, I do have all of these subscription which I have created. Okay. This is like all the subscription, but for all of them, I haven't disabled it by myself. It will get disabled by automatically. It will get disabled after a month. So it will
Okay,
not charge you the money. Suppose after a month, you are very cautious that it will cut the money. It will not happen. Okay.
okay,
Now, also, if you want to set up a budget that, hey, I want to get a alert after suppose after 1 month is coming, okay, and I want to get a alert, that can you can set up that by going to the budget, and after 25 26 days you can get a particular email alert, or it is a 15,000 credit is given over there, right? So suppose if you have by mistake, if you have created a resource which is consuming the money and you have used all of the resource, then also you can get an alert. So we can set up a alert as well if you want to, but it won't be a issue anyways, so don't worry about it. Okay. now now I am going back to data factory. So cloud is, so first of all, outline of this course is we will do 3 architecture end to end. What are those architecture? First architecture is this, second architecture is this, third architecture is this. I will try to give a short summary, short and sweet summary of all of these 3 architecture, because detailed architecture you will not get it right now, because anyways we started the course right now, right? So in all of the 3 architecture, what we will do. So in the first architecture, what we are trying to do, we are trying to take the data from source. Source as in it can be any source, on-premise source or a cloud source. It can be any source, and we are moving the data to Azure Blob Storage. Why we are moving the data to Azure Blob Storage? Because it is recommended by Microsoft that your first layer of storage should be a Azure Blob Storage. That is why we are moving the data in Azure Blob Storage or a data lake Gen 2 in all of the 3 architectures. If I go on this architecture, if I go on this architecture as well. Now,
Uh,
yeah.
so what is this blob storage?
Blob storage is a storage service provided by Microsoft where you can store CSV file, Parquet file, JSON file, any kind of file you can store over here. It is just a storage device provided by Microsoft. So here you can store any kind of a data.
Okay.
Okay. So it is first layer of storage. Now, after that, like suppose there is 10 CSV file, which you moved from source to the blob storage. Okay, then here you can suppose if you want to combine all the data, so you can read it to the Databricks, transform it, write it back to the blob storage. That you can do. Databricks will not store the data. It is just reading and writing the purpose. Okay. Now from here you can move the data to the SQL server. What is SQL server? Here you can store the tabular data. Tabular data means which is in the like table format. So here you can store the data in the tabular format. Now after that you can do the Power BI presentation. Why we are doing all of this? But suppose you are working in Big Bazaar, okay, and in the Big Bazaar they have your manager told you that, hey Abhishek, you need to move the data into the cloud, whatever data you have, and then after that you need to prepare a dashboard. Okay, dashboard means Power BI dashboard. So this is how Power BI dashboard looks. So this is how the Power BI dashboard looks, where you can get all the representation of different things, okay, that you can get. Now, you got a task that you need to move the data, all the data to the cloud, and then do the Power BI presentation. Then you ask your manager that, hey, what are the data, what are the dashboard you want? In the dashboard, what are the things you want? Then he told you that I want to find out employee of the year and I want to provide him an award that he's the salesman of the year, something like that, and product of the year, like which product sold most, something like that. Okay. So what you will do, you will take the data from the source, like you will take a employee data from the source and also sales data from the source. Okay. And suppose why you are taking the data also from the cloud and also from the on-premise and moving the data again to the cloud if it is already there in the cloud? Any answer of it? Suppose if the data already there in the cloud, why we are moving the data again in the cloud? Any idea? Any guess?
I guess it just because to perform something ETL over the data.
Reason being the cloud is not necessarily be Azure cloud, right? So it can be, and suppose my data is in Dynamic 365 cloud system, okay? And also Dynamic 365 cloud system is also a kind of a data source which is in the cloud, but it is not like so good to use. So they want to upgrade that, okay? And suppose my like for 10 business unit of Big Bazaar, I store the data in Dynamics 365 cloud system. And for another 10 business unit, I store the data in SAP HANA, which is a very good source system, right? Now I'm storing that in both of the system, but what my manager want the total sales, like product of the year or the employee of the year. That is what he want. So I want to take the data from both of the system and then do the analysis on it, right? So what I will do, I will move the data also from SAP HANA and also from the NEC65 and then do the aggregation over here. So I will take the data from the source and also from the cloud, no matter what kind of sources this is, and also from the cloud, and then move the data to the blob storage. That is what I will do. Now, once I move the data to the blob storage, I will read the data to the Databricks, transform it. Transform means I need to join the data, right? I cannot basically on the raw data side, I cannot provide the prediction. Suppose I have 10 sales files, then I need to join it somewhere, right? So I am joining it over here, doing all the analysis and then writing it back, the joined data. Once the table is fully made, I will move the data to the SQL server. Okay. And in the SQL server, after that, I will move the data to Power BI to do the analysis. Okay. So this is once you have the whole sales data in the Power BI, you can do the analysis on top of it. That is why we are doing all of this. Okay. Now coming to again a question that why this Databricks here? Okay, because we can anyways move the data from the blob storage to SQL server and then run some SQL query to the transformation. Databricks is there because when you have huge amount of data and when you have a complex query, it's better to use a Databricks for big data processing. Okay, so that is why Databricks is here. Now we will not go to too much of detail, but in nutshell, we are moving the data to the cloud and doing the analysis. That is why we are studying this architecture. Coming back to this, Here also we are doing same kind of a thing, but here we are receiving the file in CSV, JSON, and XML format. And then in the Databricks, we are doing the transformation. Then from the Databricks, we are writing the data SQL Server and then Power BI presentation. Here also we are doing the same thing, but by using Synapse Analytics pipeline. Any confusion on this, guys? And if you are not, if it is not fully clear, then also it's fine. But in a nutshell, did you get it? Like what all difference is there, and like if there is any confusion, please let me know.
You just wanted to know like the Databricks, like what does this define Azure Databricks?
Databricks is built on a Spark engine in which you can run your transformation logic on a Spark cluster.
Okay.
So in very layman terms, what is this? Like suppose you have 10 data set, okay? So you can run the SQL query on top of those data set and also do the transformation. That also you can do. But when you run a Spark query, it processes the data parallelly and it processes data faster than the SQL. That is why for big data processing, people recommend to use Spark, and Databricks is built on the Spark itself. It is for
Okay.
the data processing. In very
Data
simple terms,
process.
it is for the data processing.
Okay.
Okay. Now this is clear. Now in the cloud computing, we have two model. One is deployment model. Second is service model. What is difference between deployment model and service model? In deployment model, we have three kinds of cloud. In service model, we have IaaS, SaaS, and PaaS. What is deployment model? Suppose the cloud which I am using right now, right? This cloud is a public cloud. What is public cloud? Let's go to Paint. Suppose this is a Microsoft server, okay? Now, suppose I came to Microsoft, Abhishek came to Microsoft, and Abhishek said that, hey, I want a cloud subscription, okay? So what Microsoft will do, Microsoft will make a particular public cloud account for you and then share with Abhishek, okay? That is what Microsoft will do. Now, suppose Arjun came. For Arjun as well, he will do the same task. So he will make an account. For Arjun as well, he will do the same thing. So for make an account and then share with, sorry, make an account and share with Arjun, okay? For Sagar as well, same thing. But if Sagar came, then also Microsoft will do the same thing, okay? Same thing, okay? Now, so this particular server is shared by all the public, okay? All the public is sharing this server, a Microsoft server. All the public is sharing the same server, okay? Now, Abhishek said that I have very like confidential information. Suppose Abhishek is working in SDFC Bank, and Abhishek said that I do have very confidential information, okay? And I don't want to share the same server which Sagar and Arjun is using. And he called Microsoft. So Abhishek called Microsoft and told that, hey, Microsoft, I don't want to share the same server which they are using. Okay. So what Microsoft will do? Microsoft will set up a private cloud for Abhishek. Okay. So Microsoft will come to Abhishek premise and do a private cloud setup for Abhishek. Okay. Which Abhishek can only use. Okay. So his setup will be not here. His setup will be here now. Okay. What's the benefit for this private cloud? Now, suppose Abhishek has different people who is working in SDFC Bank. Suppose this user is also working in SDFC Bank. This user is also working on SDFC Bank. This user is also working in SDFC Bank. So all the people can work in the same cloud because they are working in the same organization. Okay, so all the people can work in the private cloud, but mostly in all the company people use the public cloud. There is like, if there is a very confidential information, then only private cloud people ask for the private cloud, and then particular cloud service provider come in that premise and then set up a private cloud for them. What is hybrid cloud? It is mix of both. So suppose few of the data service you want to have a public cloud setup, and a few of the data service if you want to have a like shared space, then you can opt for, sorry, like in within your organization, then you can opt for private cloud. So it is mix of both. So this is public cloud, this is private cloud, and then hybrid is both of the mix of both basically. Any confusion on this, guys? Mostly you will be working on the private cloud, public cloud itself. I also haven't worked on private cloud yet, but the way of working is same. It is just like the how they are setting up the things.
Okay, quick question. How we can check means what the cloud that we are using currently in my organization? If I look to check, so where is
Then you need to check with your administrator. Uh, like
it's showing in the Azure portal somewhere?
no, I haven't checked it yet because I always worked on the public cloud, and probably 99% you are working on the public cloud only.
Okay.
That's I'm pretty much sure, because private cloud setup is very confidential data and nobody opts for it very easily. So like from the portal, I don't think so. You can check it. Like I haven't worked on the private cloud yet, so I won't be able to tell you how to check it from the portal because I
Okay.
haven't seen the user interface of it yet.
Okay.
Okay, but it looks same. The access also, the way of accessing it also same. Probably in the URL you probably see the different thing, but not sure about it yet.
But might
Now,
be it will costly,
yeah,
I guess.
yeah, it is costly.
Yeah.
Not might be, it is actually costly. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Now, in Aldi as well, their data is very confidential. They don't share, but they also use a public cloud. Nobody like use private cloud very easily. Okay. Now, what is service model? Service model is IaaS, SaaS, and PaaS. IaaS is infrastructure as a service, SaaS is software as a service, PaaS is platform as a service. Okay. What is infrastructure service and I guess you guys are pretty much familiar about it. So I want you guys to explain this if you know about it. So Sagar or Suprit or Malik, Arjun, do you know about it already?
Sorry, I do not have any idea about it.
Okay, and anyone has idea about it or no?
Yes, I have idea, but I can't put it in words now.
Okay,
know.
so in very simple terms, what is IES? What is PaaS and what is SaaS? SaaS, I guess you already know. You use it daily and you use it for 4 to 5 hours daily. I also use it for 3 to 4 hours daily. Software, right? So Instagram, Facebook, already the built-in, the whatever software which is already built in, you are just using it for your say, suppose Drive or Gmail or anything. So this is software as a service, right? What is IES is an infrastructure service. You are just getting a virtual machine. You're not getting anything beside that. So that is a infrastructure IES, right? What is platform as a service? You're getting an environment, but you need to go there and code something. And you are just getting an environment. You're not getting beside that. Okay. But PaaS is you are getting everything ready. You are just going there and then using a software. So infrastructure as a service, the good example of it is your virtual machine. Okay, so you're just getting a virtual machine. You're just getting an environment. Okay. What is platform as service? A data factory, because you go there and code something. What is SaaS? You are using a pre-built software, which is can be a Drive, a Gmail, or any software which you use on a day-to-day basis. You just need a virtual machine for your development, upload your code package. You are just shooting a product. Very simple. It's all clear, right? Now we will go to Azure space. Till now, everything is clear. Any doubt, any confusion, guys? But it is all theory. If you remember it, that's good. If not, then also it's good. No problem.
There is any option how which service we like to utilize, like IaaS, SaaS or PaaS something? Because
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
I mean, um, in the service model, correct? There are 3 services that we can use, correct? So there is an option, means it's up to us which kind of the service we would like to choose.
No. It depends on, suppose here you are using a, you will use a resource as per your usage. Suppose I am creating a data factory because I need to create a data factory, right?
Mhm.
So that is a platform as a service. Sorry, it is a platform as a service. Okay. So you just opt for the service which you want. But why you will care about whether I'm using a IaaS or SaaS or PaaS? Or if if you want to create a virtual machine, you will go there and create a virtual machine,
Okay, got it.
right? Suppose whatever architecture is being decided, it is not been decided by whether it is a IaaS, SaaS, and PaaS. It is being decided by your requirement, and
Yeah,
then
it's a depend on project requirement. Got
yeah.
it. Yep.
Now the first step is to get a subscription, which we already got. Now, suppose if I join an organization, then I come under a manager, okay, who suppose, and why I come under the manager? Because it's easy to segregate people. Suppose if anything needs to be communicated, my manager will take care of it and manages all the 10 people, right? So that is why we tag along a particular manager, right? A very simple example. And in our textbook as well, we have a different chapter, right? So all the particular index and all the particular points come under a chapter because it is easy to segregate. So similar to that, after a subscription, we have a resource group. Okay. So once we create a subscription, under a subscription, we will create a resource group. What is resource group? Resource group is a combination of different resources. Okay. So if I go to my slide, first come a management group. First come a management group. If you have multiple subscription, then management group will come into the picture. But as a developer, I never worked on management group. You three of you will also not work on management group. Why? Because it is a particular person job who created a subscription in the first place, right? His job is to manage the subscription, but your job is to develop. So you will not work on a management group. But suppose if you have multiple subscription, then you will manage your subscription from the management group. Okay. Now under a subscription, you will create a resource group. And now I will show you how you can create a resource group. So here you can type resource and you can go to the resource group. This is a second job. Okay. So once you create a subscription, you will create a resource group, and under a resource group, you will create all the resources. Resources means whether you need a data factory or you need a storage or you need whatever you need, you can create under it. Suppose if I'm going to this resource, here I can see this is the data factory created. What is data factory? It helps to move the data from one place to another. Okay, suppose if you are moving the data to the on-premise to cloud, you need a particular service, right? Just like if you're moving the data, a luggage from one place, suppose if I'm moving from Germany to London, I need a particular transportation service who can move my data from one place to another. Similar to that, if I want to move the data from on-premise to cloud, I need a service who can take care of it, right? So data factory is a service who can take care of it. So under this particular resource, I have created data factory. Similar to that, if I go to this resource group, what are the resource created under this resource group? Let's see that. We have a storage account, we have a SQL database, we have the SQL server, we have this data factory, we have this data factory, we have this key vault. All of these has been created under this resource group. Okay. So I first will create a resource group and we will create a resources under that resource group after that. So as I told that it will come under a subscription. Resource group will come under a subscription. Resource group will come under a subscription. Okay, under a subscription only we are creating a resource group. I will select a resource, like write a subscription name, which can be suppose Azure. Okay. Now, what is region? Region is suppose where your most of the development will happen, region is predefined. So you as a developer, you will also not take care of deciding the region. It depends on the project. Suppose your task is to move the data from any on-premise server which is there in the West UK or East UK. So you will create a region under that region itself, and you will create all your resources on that region itself so that communication is easy. So suppose you want to move the data from East US to West US, East US to India, something like that, right? So you will create all your resources under on that region itself so that communication is easy. Okay, so you will not create a particular resource in that region and another resource in that region. That you will not do. Okay, and again, it is dependent on like a higher management. You will not take care of which region my resource will be created. That you will not take care of. Now here I will just write Central India. Tags is not here. Tags is basically used. Suppose if you have 100 resource group and if you want to just find a resource very easily, that is why tags has been used. I also never used it. You will be probably not using it. Tags is not useful. Run, review, and create. And in Azure, whenever we create something, you will get so many settings. Okay, you don't need to understand all the setting. You just need to understand what is important in practical world. Okay, so you don't need to understand all the setting in the initial phase. Once you get a flow of it, you can tap on different settings. But for the initial phase, don't confuse yourself with all the setting, why it is there, why this is there, why this is that. It is okay to be curious, but not too much of curious to all the settings, because there's so many settings present here and there. Okay, so we created this resource group. Now we will create, sorry, not this one, we created another one. We created this resource group, right? It is haven't it it is still in the deployment phase, I guess. So let it deploy. Now under this particular resource group, we will create a resource. What is resource? So there are multiple resources. Resources means, suppose we have a resource for data storage. You can store multiple data, like data over here, like CSV file, audio file, video file, all the file you can store in the this storage. This is for the storage, just like we have a drive in Gmail, right? Similar to that, we have a storage account where you can store the data. Okay, so this is one kind of resource. Now this is data factory. What is this resource? As I told you that to move the data from one place to another, we need a resource. Just like to move the luggage from one place to another, we need a particular service, a particular vehicle who can move the data. Similar to that, we have a data factory, which will help you to move the data from one place to another. Okay, this is the another resource. Now we have a key vault. Why do we use key vault? To store the credentials. So suppose just like in your mobile, you download few of the softwares, right, to store your password of different applications. Similar to that, in Azure, we have key vault to store the password. This all are resources. Okay, and all of these resources can be created under a resource group. Okay, so here I am going and we are creating first resource, which is storage account, which we have just seen. Okay, I'm just creating a resource a storage account over here. So you can hit create over here. You can hit create. And you can type storage account over here. Now you can select the storage account. And as I told you that this is a resource which will come under a subscription and come under a resource group. Okay, so come under a subscription and come under resource group, that you will select over here and then give all the detail. Okay, either you choose to create like this, which I don't follow and nobody follows it. The easy way of doing it is you type over here storage account, select it, then hit create. Okay, and then we will see what all details can be entered over here. Okay, but before that, we will see that there are four types of storage account. Like there are four types of storage account. So here, if I open any of the storage account, then we have a data lake storage, we have a file service, we have a queue service, and we have a table service. Okay, why do we use all of it? And in your project, you will be using either a data lake Gen 2 or a blob service. You won't be using a file service, a queue service, and table service. Queue service is for handling messages. Table service is for handling NoSQL data. File service is to share large file. Okay, just by the definition, you can remember it. But in most of the your project work and our project work will inclined on the data lake storage. Okay, so if I go to the PPT again, blob service is for storing audio file, image file for the backup separated by container. File service, file can be shared by assembly, lift and shift method. This is for the handling message. Table service for NoSQL database. Okay, now if I come over here, this is either you choose to create a data lake storage or you choose to create a blob storage. So if I go over here, there is a blob service. There's a blob service. And if I go over here, this is a data lake storage. And all of it is same. File service, queue service, and table service is same over here and also from over here. Let me put my charger. Okay, so file service, queue service, table service is same. File service to handle large file, queue service for handle message, table service for handling NoSQL data. But you can leave it. It is not so important. The important is blob service and data lake Gen 2. What is the difference between a blob service and data lake Gen 2? It is very, very important from the interview perspective. So suppose in any case, and besides Sagar, both of you are preparing for interview. So this is very important interview question, that what is storage account? First of all, so storage account where you can store the data, and storage account has four types. What are those? Blob service or data lake Gen 2, file service, queue service, and table service. Okay. Then what is the difference between and why do we use storage account? Is to store the data. Okay, audio file, video, any kind of data you can store in the storage account. That is why storage we use a storage account. Now, what is the difference between a blob service and data lake Gen 2? It is also very important interview question. Now I will tell you the difference between both. And whatever interview question I am telling during the class that it is important, it is actually important. The reason being why it is important and why I am saying it is important. So I will just go and show you how I segregate those interview questions. So all of these interview question, I myself give multiple interview and my student give multiple interview. From that itself, I try to get this interview question. Okay, so if you see Affine, Bridge, I2I, these are the different company. I myself given the interview, Ecolab, Guesstimate, this all of the interview question I myself have given it. Then if I go over here, if I go over here, Prilio, Calcept, Databricks, Deloitte, FactSpan, all of these interview I have given. It's not like I'm not able to clear it. That is why I'm giving multiple interview. I am just giving the interview for the understanding what is being asked so that I can guide you. So whatever question I'm telling during the class, consider it as very important, and it is actually very important because I am giving multiple interview and then preparing those interview question. Okay. So here again, what is storage account is very important. There are 4 types of storage account and these are the types. Now, what is a blob service and data lake Gen 2? It is more important interview question. So the difference between both of the services, if I open a blob service, don't worry about how to create a storage account, that I will cover. Okay, but let's understand what is blob storage account and what is the difference between a data lake Gen 2 and a blob service. Then we will go deep into understanding it. Okay. Now, if I open a blob service, here, what is this? This is a container. What is container? Container is a folder. In Azure world, we call folder as a container. Why we call it, I don't know, but we call folder as a container. Okay. Now, if I open a container, here, here you cannot create a subfolder in blob service. This is blob service. Okay. And if so here you cannot create a subfolder in blob service, but you can create a folder and you can create a container. Both are same. Now, if I go to data lake Gen 2, if I open data lake Gen 2, here you can create a container, which is a folder. Now, if I open a container, here you can, what is this? This is a directory. What is directory? Directory is a subfolder. Okay, why we call it as a directory? Because in Azure world, this is how they have given a convention, naming convention. Okay, we can create a subfolder in data lake Gen 2, but in a blob service we cannot create a directory. Okay, so in technical terms, how to define it? In data lake Gen 2, we can create a directory inside a container. Means, in a simple terms, we can create a subfolder inside a folder. But in interview, we will not say that subfolder inside a folder. We'll say directory inside a container we can create any data lake Gen 2. Okay. But in the blob service, we cannot do it. If I go to the blob service, we cannot do it.
So directory is in other terms, we can call it as a subfolder.
Yeah, directory, we
My
call it as a subfolder. Yeah. Okay, now, what is the second difference? This is the first difference. The second difference is we can manage ACL. What is ACL? Access control list. Suppose me and Arjun are working in an organization and Sagar is our manager. Okay. Now, Sagar said that, hey, Abhishek, like you work on a particular data set, which I don't want to share that data set with Sagar. Okay. So sorry, Arjun. So he has given us an input container and then he want to segregate. Suppose folder 1, I am accessing and Arjun is accessing folder 2. Okay. So that can be managed by Sagar. The folder level or a directory level access can be managed by ACL, access control list, which is over here, ACL. You can manage it from here. But that cannot be done in the blob storage. That is second difference. Okay. Now, the third difference is the data lake Gen 2 is a like blob storage. As you started this journey with the blob storage, but data lake Gen 2 is a upgrade version of it. Okay, so in most of the current phase, whatever project is being implemented, it is being implemented in data lake Gen 2. You will not use a blob storage because data is increasing day by day, and it is better to like in data lake Gen 2, you can segregate your data in a better fashion, right? That is why it is more recommended for big data analytics, and is for future it is more recommended. Blob storage is being used in past. Either people are migrating from blob storage to data lake Gen 2 for now, but nobody is implementing the whole architecture in the blob storage in the current phase. Okay. Now we have a data lake Gen 1 as well, which is not, nobody asked about it, but from here you cannot create it. I will show you how to create it and what is data lake Gen 2 again. Okay, so now how to create data blob storage and data lake Gen 2, which hit create over here. Then you give your subscription name and you give your resource group name. Okay, which is this, sorry, Azure class. Then you give your storage account name, data lake. I am creating data lake Gen 2 now, right? So I'm giving data lake Gen 2 346, 345 or something like that. Central India, same. Now all of these we can leave for now. Here, if you select this one, if you select, it will create a data lake Gen 2 for you. Okay, but if you deselect it, it will create a blob service for you. What is this? Hierarchical namespace complemented by data lake Gen 2 endpoint, enable file and directory semantics, accelerates big data analytics workloads, and enable ACL. All of this I have covered. It covers ACL. It is for the big data analytics, and it enable hierarchical namespace, means folder inside directory inside a container that you can create. So all of these are the difference which is important to remember. And if you just click it, then it will create a data lake Gen 2 for you. But if you don't click it, that will create a blob storage for you. You don't need to do any of the setting change for now, and then hit create. So what also setting we have changed? Okay, so we have just changed this one. Here we have written our storage account name. Okay, and beside that, we haven't changed anything else. We just changed in the advanced tab. This one I have enabled, and beside that, I haven't changed anything else. Okay, all the things will be same. And then hit create. It will take some time and create the service for you. Okay, so just like hit create after that. I'm not creating it because I do have a data lake Gen 2 for you. But again, if you want to create a blob service, what you can do here, you don't select it and then hit create, it will create a blob service for you. Any confusion on this, guys? Till now we have covered what is public cloud, private cloud, IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, the architecture diagram, what we will study, 3 architecture diagram, and then what is management group, what is a subscription, what is a resource group, and then we have seen what is storage account, what is a data lake Gen 2, and what is blob storage. Till now, whatever I told, is there any confusion on any of it?
If I forgot to click on the Gen 2, so it's possible to move it again in the Gen 2 once it create blob storage.
It is possible, but
Yep.
I haven't done it because it is like very stupid mistake, and you want to
Mhm.
do all the migration, so you can do some, there is an upgrade which you can do. But suppose if I'm going to the blob storage, it cannot be changed like in fraction of second, but it can be done somewhere. It is there. Storage data migration. Browser storage mover. 1 second. All of these needs to be followed, but again, like this is the review and agree to change, start validation. It will take some time, and then you can do it. This is the button which I'm talking
Yep.
about. You can change this blob store to data lake Gen 2, but like if you're moving, you're taking care of all the data point, right? So if you forget to do it, I recommend delete and create it again. But if you're doing it in your company, but just for your understanding, if you want to try, you can try this.
Okay, we'll do that.
Now coming, yeah.
Another one is in the Gen 2 we can provide the access level on the folder basis. You can say the subfolder, correct? So access level also possible on the container level, because I can see we can create a multiple containers as well, correct?
In the blob storage you can do, and in data lake Gen 2 as well you can do that.
Okay, in the container level as well.
Yeah.
And how I can check means how what kind of the rights that I have.
So here if you
Gen
go,
2.
here if you click over here, you can ACL. and then you can select.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
you can do it. Okay, but all of it, if you're in the initial phase, probably I don't think so you will be doing it, but this is how it can be done if you want to do it. Now coming to homework, guys, and I am very serious with homework, and I expect that you will complete this homework. So please complete it, because if you don't complete it, you will not understand it. So first, get a subscription. Okay, and then you just decide. So suppose if anyone is taking the responsibility to create a subscription, just write in the group so that that person can get a free subscription next month. That is up to you. You can just decide in the group, and I will help you to add you in that particular account. That's not a problem. You can call me, I will add. Now the second thing is, so star market. Okay, so few of the student don't do it and ask for this link again, which I use very frequently. Download the PPT because that will be useful for tracking purpose. Now create a resource group. Once getting a subscription, create a resource group. अरे यार. Then create a blob storage and data lake Gen 2, both in that resource group. This is very sweet and simple, easy homework, and I guess you guys can do it very easily. Now we can decide the class timing for Sunday. So at what time you guys are free on Sunday? Can we decide that? So I recommend having class at around 3:30 is 7 p.m. IST. 7 p.m. IST is fine for you guys.
Can we make it in afternoon something? Because it's
I
evening
do
time
have
and
a
it's Sunday.
I do have
So,
a class on from 12 to 2. I do have a class, and that particular class will be difficult to shift because in that class one student is from US and Australia, and both are different time zone. So and after 2 I can take the class, and after 2 I want a break for 1 hour, and then from 3 I can take a class which is like 6:37. So that is why I'm recommending that.
you mean you have another batch on from 3 to 6:30 something? Or
12 to
you
12 to 2 my time, which is
uh,
around 2:30 to 4:30, and like yeah, so 2:30 4:30 I do have another batch, and then I will teach you guys, and then I do have another 2 hours, so I have 6 hours of class on Sunday. So if you can manage on 7 p.m., then if you don't have the outing or something like that, then it should be fine, right? Are you planning to go anywhere?
not anywhere, but it's Sunday and it's evening, so that's why I'm saying like that. And
Okay.
mm,
So how what we can do? And other two are okay, fine. For Malika, for Arjun and Sri Suprit, are you fine with this time?
Yeah, I guess 7. Yeah, it would be a 2 hour or 1 hour class.
It will be 2 hour, and then Monday I will connect for 1 hour. Okay, so 4 hours. Like we can connect, and then there will be a long break. Long break as in a good break because I am traveling next weekend. So there will be a good amount of break to practice the things. Okay, so you will get enough amount of time, like 4 to 5 days to practice. So you can practice it and then attend the class probably next weekend or Monday.
Okay, okay. Then I think yeah, I can make it for
So
Sunday 7.
what we will try to focus, as I told, we will try to
Mhm.
focus 3 hours in a week. So if
Okay.
we started on this week, right? So this month 1, 3. So I'm planning to cover at least 7 to 8 hours in this month. That is my target. So suppose if I cover 4 hours, then the class will go a bit slow, and then we will try to just practice, focus on the practice, come up with the doubt. That is what we'll focus on. So on Sunday, Sagar, what about you? So we can do it for 1 hour if you want to go out or something.
Can you make it before your session that you have the 12 to 2, I guess?
No,
Uh,
no, I cannot do it because it's like for before that I do have some, like on Sunday I
okay.
need to take care of some home thing as well. Yeah.
Okay, no worries. So we can meet on 7 o'clock. I
7
don't have any
o'clock,
issue.
and if you have some plan, like we can do it for 1 hour. You just let me know, and if you're not going anywhere, then we can do it for 1 hour, 2 hours. Okay.
Okay.
Then we will connect on Monday. Just giving you a heads up. So let's see you guys on Sunday, and then make sure that you have completed this very sweet and simple homework, so that, and make yourself familiar with the environment. At least just go to the portal, create something, create resource account, click here and there, because once I am working on this account, I'm working from 5 to 6 years, right? So I am very familiar with this account. So here and there I will click, and it's fast for you. So it can be the case that Abhishek, where you are clicking, I'm not able to get it. So just make yourself familiar with the space. At least just click here and there, because you will be working mostly on this environment itself.
Got it.
Okay, and please send all of your email ID in the group, so that I can add you to the Zoom recording. So I will share this recording on our drive. So I will just share the recording with all of you, that you can just do. Okay, and also download all the sample file which is here. In I have shown you, right, on that link there we have a sample file. And in this group which I have added you, like beside this, you are also in one more group, right? So in that group, all of my students are there whom I taught till now. So in that group, I share the material and everything over there. Just like, and if I'm traveling anywhere, I just update in this group beside updating all the people. So yeah, so let's meet on Sunday. And if you have any doubt, just discuss that in the group, and probably I will answer, or somebody else who knows it can answer. So let's discuss on Monday and then continue from Monday again. Yeah. So Sunday again. Yeah. Sunday, let's connect on 7 p.m. then.
Mm,
Okay.
before we close the class, Abhishek, um, I have one doubt on the subscription part. Actually, in my organization, I have multiple subscription I can see in the portal.
Share your
So,
screen.
no, I can't do this because we are using workspace, UBase workspace, and it not. Uh,
Okay, fine. Yeah. So what is the doubt? And others,
yeah,
if you don't have any doubt, you can just continue with your work and chill out. But it's anyways Friday night, right? Go
yeah.
out, meet. Yeah. And I can continue with Sagar. Sagar, what is the doubt? Yeah.
Yeah, I have small doubt. I can see the multiple subscription for
Mhm.
me
Mhm.
in my organization. So I'm confused why they require this multiple subscription, because it's also possible if we have only one subscription, then you can create a multiple like resources and something like that.
In my already account, okay, they, for every resource group, they have created a subscription. Okay.
Oh,
So
okay,
why
that's great.
why why they have segregated a subscription? Because for the billing. So for one
Mm-hmm.
subscription, you get
Mm-hmm.
one billing. Okay.
Ah, okay.
So suppose if you have multiple subscriptions, so you have a different billing all of that subscription. But if you have one subscription, then the billing happens on the subscription level, not on the resource group level, right?
Got it. Then
So
if any resource was not no longer required, so they
yeah,
can
so
destroy.
probably
Okay,
it
it
is up
would
to
be safe.
them how they want to
Mm.
manage it. So it
Yeah,
is
yeah,
on the
got it.
subscription level, the billing is happening. Okay.
But on the subscription level, it also having something access rights, means you can create something like resource group, or you
Yeah.
can't
So
create.
suppose if you have 2 to 3 resources, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
if you want to give on the resource group, suppose if I have created storage account, and then suppose
Mm-hmm.
me and Arjun and like Supreet as were 3 developers, and in the resource group, if I want a developer level access,
Mm-hmm.
like suppose I don't want a particular me using one resource storage account, but I
Mhm.
don't want Arjun to use the same storage account.
Correct.
So you as a manager can access it, like you can just give a storage account access as well. So that is why it is a particular resource under resource group. You can create multiple resources and then manager access as well on that resource. That also can be done.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep, yeah.
Okay, fine guys. So see you then on Monday. Happy weekend.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
see you
Yeah,
on Sunday.
Okay.
thanks,
Bye.
Abhishek.
Bye. See
Yeah.
you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Bye.